Hey, what's up? Welcome back, subscribers. It's your girl Sab again, and this is going to be part two of 90s Babies Talking Life Experiences. This is the episode with my amazing guests, Jesucita and Anonymous. I'm so excited for you guys to listen to the rest of this episode. Please make sure that you've listened to part one. Obviously, it's only going to make sense if you listen to part one before you listen to this part, but y'all get a bonus episode from me this month. I'm so excited to have you guys tune in to this week's episode and next week's regularly scheduled episode as well. So make sure you subscribe and follow along. So here goes. But there's also guys like I've dated who, like, I feel like I've connected with really well. Like, we relate so much on so many different things. But I don't know, I just feel like there's something that's missing. Like, I went on a date recently. He lives in a different state, so he was like visiting. And he's totally not my type in a lot of ways, but he's also a musician. Jesus. I just naturally attract him, apparently. Um, and like our first date went really well, but it was just something that didn't click for me. Like, I don't know what it was. I feel like he just wasn't well-rounded enough for me. And I just didn't like that. Although he's open to learning things, I don't want to have to teach you how to be well-rounded, you know? Yeah. I want you to come with some of that experience yourself. Yes. But I love that he's moved out of his hometown. But it also didn't really seem like he went and, like, ventured out much. You know, and I'm like, I don't really like that. That's too much of a disconnection for me to have to teach you, like, essentially culture, like, you know, different things. So, and it's funny because I literally, after this date, like, I saw this TikTok that said, it was like a guy who was like, the TikTok said, he's like, when she soft launches her new man and he's got Chelsea boots on, and he's like, the guy's like punching the air, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So I looked up what that means, like, so essentially, they categorize men who wear Chelsea boots as the men that will marry you and actually be your husband. And I was like, okay. I was like,
not gonna lie, I don't even know what Chelsea boots are.
You don't?
No.
I'll show you. But I was like, oh. I was like, nah, I would never marry a guy in Chelsea boots.
That's crazy.
He definitely is not my husband. That's what they are.
Oh.
No offense, like they were a
These
thing.
look like girl boots though.
They're unisex.
Okay.
Yes. Androgynous. I mean, and they're not bad. It's just like, I don't really like men with that aesthetic. And it's funny because I showed up to our first date so myself, and it's so funny because I had on like baggy pants and a baggy shirt.
And he's probably like, this bum-ass girl.
He came in all dressed up with this cute little chain and, like, these boots and, like, dress pants. And I was like, damn, I didn't get the memo.
You're like, nope.
I was like, ooh, I look like the man here.
Oh, my God.
And I think that's also the other thing is, like, I need someone to, like, match my aesthetic in some way. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You want to look cute together. I think that's valid.
Yeah, like, I think
I need me an Adam Sandler guy. Adam Sandler type of guy.
Now,
how I dress.
That's how I normally dress like that too. But sometimes you just gotta pop out and just be dressing. And I'm not talking about the salad dressing, okay? But, you know, I've learned that I love fashion. I love styling. I like expressing myself through clothes.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, it's no offense to anyone who dresses that way, like, with the Chelsea boots. It's just, like, it's just not my aesthetic. And I need you to be a little bit more I need you to explore a little bit more. But style is absolutely subjective. And it is something that, you know, I could change in someone. But I can't.
Or not.
With it.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to change it. You guys can just have your own style.
Yeah, true. But I don't want to talk. I don't want to have to talk to you about sneakers, and then you're like, "What the fuck is that?" I shouldn't have to do that.
True. Yeah, that's true. I don't think I could be with someone that's like into all that name brand stuff because I'm not. I wouldn't even know. Like, I didn't even know what the fuck Chelsea boots are.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like I definitely don't always like getting into brands, but you know, I dabble in it here and there. Dabble in it here and there. I'll say that.
Another thing too for me, dating wise, is if I go on a date with someone
Mm-hmm.
and I feel nervous about the date,
Mm.
I already am uninterested.
But that's your fear talking. Because I was nervous. I was very nervous too.
Well, I don't always get nervous on dates though. It's not always. So the few that I do get nervous with, I don't know. I feel like it's an unsettling feeling. Like there's no reason for me to be nervous. Like why is my body acting this way? You know what I mean? Like my body's not comfortable. Like there's something off.
Yeah.
That I don't know about.
Throughout the date or like before? Or just in general? Like
yeah, just in general.
You get nervous and you're like, oh,
yeah.
bad sign.
I take that. I take that as a bad sign only because I want to feel calm. Like,
yeah. You feel like it's your intuition talking to you.
Yeah.
That this is just not right.
Like it's kind of like a gut feeling. But no, I really do feel like nauseous.
Because I've had both. I've had like where I'm nervous before the date and like throughout the date, and like you said, it's unsettling. And it's like, yeah, like I don't feel comfortable because why am I on edge?
Yeah.
But then I've had where like right before a date, you know, I'm fine, I'm good, but right before the date, like maybe like 5 minutes before, I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to meet them. Like I'm on my way, we're about to meet. But then I meet them and then we're good.
Yeah.
I'm calm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not feeling that anxiousness. But if you're feeling like that throughout the whole date, like,
yeah,
just call an SOS on the group chat and go home.
Right.
I gotta go. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't venture out a lot with like dating men who I don't know from like other people. Like, you know, through my friends.
Yes.
That was the first time I actually went on a date with someone that I just randomly met. Why did I do that? And I actually gave him my number instead of giving him my Instagram. That was stupid.
That's so funny that you say that because I do the same thing. Like if somebody asks me for my number, I'm like, no, but you can have my Instagram. I don't give my Facebook. I don't accept people on Facebook. I don't give my Snapchat. It's literally just Instagram.
Same. Like and I wasn't even actually interested in this person. And I was like, oh shit, I just gave him my number.
For fun.
And he actually, because I just thought like he wasn't actually going to follow through.
Mm-hmm.
And that night was really strange too. Like I think actually I wasn't even that drunk. I think I gave my number out to a couple of people and I was like, damn, what the fuck?
Look at you venturing out.
Like, and there were people I don't know, but
she was handing them out like business cards.
I was just handing out like business cards. It was crazy. But I didn't even, it was so funny because I didn't think that he was actually going to follow through. You're definitely not going to text me tomorrow. I don't care. And he actually did. And I was like, oh shit, should I take him serious and like actually go on this date? I was so nervous about it. But I'm glad that I tried it because I was like, that was one of like my first dates, like with someone that I didn't know at all. And like after like this whole situation, like I just tried it. And we didn't really stay, like we tried to like stay in contact, but again, I just wasn't feeling it. And he tried. He was really trying. Like he would FaceTime me all the time.
Oh, I love FaceTime calls.
Do you feel like he was trying too hard?
No.
Or you just were not interested, that it was just too much?
I just was not interested. And I mean, I was clear about that because I was like, I just kind of got out of something and I'm just not interested right now. But like, I'm willing to, you know, build something, whatever this could be. Just not romantic. But yeah, he was consistent. And then months later, he actually like recently like called me out the blue. Not gonna lie, I had his number deleted. I was like, who the fuck is this? This out of state area code? And I'm like, also, you had to have dialed my number twice because my phone is always on D&D. So that means you called me twice.
Oh.
And it went through. So I'm like, oh, that was weird. But yeah, I mean, we kind of like reconnected a little bit there, but I still don't feel anything. Like it was what it was. And yeah, like I think I want to venture out more and like date people who do not have any mutuals with me, but it's very hard for me to trust that.
Yeah, same. Like, I can't just... I don't add random people on social media either. So, if I date someone, it's because somebody else
knows them in some way.
And I always ask too. Like, even if I do get a friend request and we do have mutual friends, I see who the mutual friends are and I'll screenshot the page and I'll send it to them and be like, who is this person? Like, can I trust it? Can I add them?
Yeah.
That's how I added, I didn't know him, but my sister vouched for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine.
You could be my friend.
You could be my friend. We'll see. Yeah, I want to venture out more, but I'm also just super scared.
Well, it is scary.
Yeah.
You never know.
You know, I missed my opportunity. There was this fine-ass dude on the subway in New York, and we're eyeballing each other from across the way, and I'm like, and he was just, even his aesthetic, his style was just exactly what I like, and I'm like, damn it! But I'm too scared.
He's not wearing Chelsea boots.
That's my man. That's my man. No Chelsea boots and no dangly earring. But I was just too nervous. And I'm like, you know, I gotta stop that, because the whole point of me not wanting to be here in Milwaukee is because I feel like I keep running into the same people.
It's such a small city.
Yeah, everyone's associated to each other in some way. Like,
literally,
even someone I met recently, we were just talking randomly, and we actually found out we were birthday twins. Like, we were having a good time. Like, he was very respectful, very nice. I don't think that he was interested in me in that way. I wasn't interested in him in that way, but we were just having like a really cool bonding moment. And he was like, so we exchanged Instagrams, and I was like, oh shit, you know some of my peoples. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that, because I'm very, like, I've just started to, like, resurface back in the world. So I'm like, for you to have mutuals with me is crazy. That means, like, you know some people that I've known my whole life. And I looked through the mutuals, it was one of them was someone I used to date. And I was like, man, well, yeah, very glad that we are not pursuing things in a romantic sense. But that's...
I still get scared to even meet people.
You could like hear the helicopter.
That's so funny. I'm even scared to meet people out, like you said, at a lounge or whatever.
Yeah.
I still need to make sure that we have mutual friends. Like, I need someone to vouch for that person.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm just traumatized or something. I don't know. This one time I met a guy at a bar. And we went... this one time I met a guy at a bar, and me and my friend went because that bar was having a comedy show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would not date a guy that I met at a bar or a club.
Yeah.
I don't know, it might sound bogus, but I don't want to meet the love of my life at a bar or at a club.
Yeah.
But because there was a comedy show, we were all in the comedy show, I don't know, I was just like, okay, let's see. So I started talking to this guy there, and we hit it off. And the crazy part is, he asked me if I had a boyfriend. And I said, no, I don't have a boyfriend. I didn't think to ask him if he had a girlfriend, because, you know, like, you're asking me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you're asking me because obviously you are also single.
Right.
So I didn't think to ask, so I didn't ask. And then it turns out that he had a freaking girlfriend. And I'm like, bruh. And it only came to light because he asked to come over after the bar.
Yeah.
To my house. And I was like, oh, no, I don't do that. Like, but we hit it off. You're cool. I'm down to hang out during the day, you know, like, get to know each other.
During business hours.
During business hours, literally. And then he said, not gonna lie. He's like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a girlfriend. And I'm like, what? And the first thing that I thought of was, you literally asked me if I had a boyfriend.
Right.
And then I'm like, but I didn't ask him back. So I guess, right, you didn't. I hate men.
Yeah. I wonder if at that point, though, if you would have asked him, if he would have been like, yeah, I do. Or he just felt like, no, she's single. Like, I'm single for the night. We're vibing. Once I tell her I have a girlfriend, she's going to walk away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
That definitely was his mindset.
Yeah.
Men are pigs.
They
Not
are.
all.
A lot of them, though.
Yeah.
Most of you guys, and I've gotten approached by a few men that are in relationships, and I'm just like, do I look like a side bitch? Do I look like a hoe? Do I look like I'm stupid? Like, do I look like I'll help you cheat? What is it about me that makes you think that?
You know what's crazy is I was doing some like research again. There was a woman talking about how literally when you start to elevate the way you carry yourself, and it's not a physical thing, but we have to be honest with the fact that the world does operate on a physical level, you know? So the way you look is obviously a major factor to most of the world because they're so fucking vain. I'm pretty vain as well sometimes, so I'm not gonna lie. But because the world operates in such a vain way, like it does matter how you look, but the way that you carry yourself as a woman, sometimes when you operate in a higher frequency and like you really just exude your happiness and your self-love and like who you are and like you're expressively yourself, radically yourself, you don't get approached as often because most men are intimidated by the way you exude yourself. And I'm not saying that
unless it's a man like this that really doesn't care and he's gotten away with it before. They're super confident in themselves and they think that they got it like that.
They fake it, but they don't make it.
Which is crazy because those are the kind of men that do approach me, and then other men don't approach me. And I feel because they are intimidated. Like, yes. And also because I don't want to say that I come off like aggressive. It's just
you have a type A personality.
Like I know what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. And this is what we're here for. We're here to get to know each other. So that's what we're going to do.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you all that I have to offer. And it's so crazy though, because sometimes I feel like I don't have much to offer just because I live such a, I don't know, I just stay kind of to myself. Like I do have friends, right? Yeah. But I don't really go out as much. Like most of the time I'm home. 9 out of 10. But some men do think that that's intimidating. Like, oh, she bought her own house.
Yeah.
Which is crazy though, because I never saw it like that. Like I bought my house, but I personally didn't see it as like
that a huge of an accomplishment.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like my friend, she's had to remind me, like when I first bought my house, she's like, no, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like not everyone can just buy a fucking house, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, well, not that it came easy because it didn't. Nothing comes easy.
Right.
But I was able to save up. And like you said, like I was privileged enough to have that opportunity to save. You know, like I was living upstairs from my mom. Like I did pay rent, but it was nothing compared to what I would have been. What I would have had to pay had I lived somewhere else. So to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. But I think also because I did have that help, you know, like I did do it on my own, you know.
Yeah.
But I still had that help, like even my parents helping me with not charging me as much rent or whatever, you know, like, so I just saw it as something normal. Like, I didn't really see it as me having this advantage, you know, like it is a big deal because it is true. Not everyone can just buy a house. Right. Even if they do have money saved up, maybe they don't have like a good credit score or I don't know, something else. Yeah. Maybe they don't have a good support system to do it either because this is a huge
responsibility. Yeah. Even just maintaining it in general is just a lot.
That too. That's why I'm glad I got a little small house. It's small, but it's cozy and
it's perfect for you.
Especially, you know, I'm sure it's not going to be my first home.
Yeah.
So, or my only home.
Your only home, yeah.
So for my first time, I think I did pretty good.
You did amazing. And, you know, I think also, yeah, like, of course, like, it will intimidate certain men that we own our own homes and, like, we're able to establish that longevity of our own. without having to be in relation with a fucking partner. But at the same time, like, I feel that the right person obviously will never see that as an intimidating thing.
Yes.
For sure.
I agree.
But I think in general, like, even if we take outside, even if I take out the whole, like, owning my own home thing, like, I feel like when people get very intimidated with the fact that I have certain experiences that most people don't get to have. Like, most people don't have passports. Most people don't get to travel the world and see the things that I've gotten the privilege to see. And I will forever be grateful for that. But at the same time, like, that should be more of an inspiration for you to want that too. You know,
right.
to do that as well.
Yes.
But I also get it. Like, it's hard for men to let women lead. But I was also doing some other research, and I found, like, a woman talking about how it's actually more natural for women to lead, and this society has just built it to where they make it, they spun it around to make it seem like men are supposed to be in a leadership role. Men are just the face of it, okay? Like, y'all men are just supposed to be like the face of the family, the relationship, but everyone that's pulling the strings, the person that's pulling the strings is us. We're the brains of it. Yep. We're the brains of the operation. Exactly. And that's the only way, like, a dynamic could really work, or a lot of successful ones. Like, if you watch things like with Barack and Michelle, when you watch interviews about them, he literally talks about, like, he literally even introduces himself as Michelle's husband. Like, and he admits that she literally is the brains of it all. Like, she runs the whole thing. He's just there to do what she says. And it's, yes, like, yeah, okay, men think more logically or less emotional. Like, they're less emotional with their decisions. But
that's not always a good thing.
Exactly.
And I think also women mature
faster. Yeah, absolutely. And I had to rethink that. I'm like, maybe that's what I need in a relationship. If I ever date again, like, I need someone who's like, I don't need somebody to be my bitch boy, but I need you to trust me enough that, like, my brains is what's going to get us through these things. Yeah. You do everything. I'll think about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to brainstorm it, and we'll brainstorm it together in some capacity. But, like, the way this operation works is, like, you do it, I'm going to be the brains of it. So I feel like I'm going to do more. I'm going to look more into that, but that is something that I've realized could work for me. Because one not so toxic relationship that I've had in my life, like, the way we started off, it was so cool. Like, it was honestly astonishing how I was just talking to him about, like, credit repair and just, like, stuff like that. And, like, we were talking about, like, financial stuff. And, like, we were very like-minded in the ways of, like, starting businesses and wanting to do, like, venture out and do those types of ambitious things. And he would literally, we'd be sitting on FaceTime, like, we're talking about it, and he's writing all of this down. Like, he's taking fucking notes from me. And I thought that was so fucking attractive. Like, he's literally taking notes while I'm talking to him about things and educating him on things. And I'm like, damn, that's so damn
that attractive. Would make me feel so good about myself, honestly. But he also needs to bring something to the table.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, you have to learn from each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my thing, I feel like I need to look for a man that is confident. Like, because, you know me, I have my flaws, right? But I feel like I'm pretty confident in who I am. I know who I am. I know what I want. And a lot of men, I'm not going to say a lot of men, it's just certain men, maybe just the men that I've met so far, don't have that same mentality. And I think that's also what kind of brings that insecurity into play, and that whole, like, feeling intimidated by me. So I feel like if I meet a man that's sure of himself and he's super confident, it doesn't even matter how I am or how independent I am, because he'll have his own thing, you know, and that's what it's supposed to be. Like, you have your own thing, I have my own thing, and then we kind of just bring
Come
it together.
Yeah.
To make it better, not like...
two wholes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what people forget to realize about confidence is that it's not about like emphasizing on the positives that you bring to the world. It's about even the negative things about you, like the bad things about you. You have to still be confident in that because that is a part of you. That's who you are. So most of the time, the confidence that people have is false because they're not willing to embrace the dark side. So they're not willing to do the shadow work of accepting all of those mistakes and all of the flaws that you do have. I know I have those things, and I will never, I put it out there in the world because you're never going to use it against me. Because a lot of people have tried to use it against me, and I will never let you. Never.
That kind of goes hand in hand with being prideful.
Yeah.
That's why you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you're too prideful and you kind of think about how others are going to view you.
Yeah.
And that's why you're not really confident in those areas. Yeah. Not you, but like people.
Yeah. Because being prideful is definitely different from being confident, I believe. Because if you're prideful, you're working in an ego that is a mask, essentially, for the world. My confidence is for me. It's definitely nothing to do with you. But, you know, it is, I think a lot of the time, like, I do emasculate a lot of men that I've dated, and it sucks. Literally, like, my ex literally told me, like, the only time I feel like a man is when, this might be TMI, but he said he only feels like a man when we're having sex because that's the only time that he feels like he can dominate over me. And I'm like, damn, I made you feel that bad about yourself? Like, well, am I sorry? I'm just kidding.
Maybe he just wasn't an alpha man. Maybe he was a beta.
I
feel like I'm an alpha female, so if I do meet a man, he's gonna need to be, you know, on my level or even above me, honestly, because I am a lot. Like, not in a bad way, I have a lot of emotions, you know, and I know it gets overwhelming, and I kind of like spill that onto other people,
right,
and whatnot. But I also have like a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I want to do, and I don't know, I just need someone to kind of, I don't want to say take control of me, but
don't control me.
Nobody can control me except for my dog.
I think,
but
I'm also learning for myself is like I need to be more like feminine and gentle, in some way. Like, I think out in the world, like I'm cool with being that hard shell, but when I'm with you, like I want to be my softie, and I'm a run shit. I'm gonna just say that. Like, shit needs to go my way.
Feel like that's something that I would want too, but that comes with me wanting to find an alpha male that will allow me to feel that way. Like, because if I'm, for example, like if I date a guy that's not really so sure of himself, I'm not gonna become more feminine, and like I'm not gonna feel safe around you.
Yeah,
because you can't even advocate for yourself,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna advocate for me too? Like, I want to be able to feel safe. I want to be able to just completely let go and put all my trust in you. Not like 24/7, obviously, but the fact that I can do that would probably make a relationship easier. And if I'm with someone or dating someone that's kind of like someone that won't tell the waiter he ordered ketchup on his burger, you know, like if I have to be the one that's taking control of things, then I don't want to do that. I do it because it comes naturally, but I don't want to do it. Like, I want to be able to just let go and just be
trusting in you
and feminine. Like you said.
I think that just kind of made me realize something about like my last relationship. I think the reason that like I couldn't trust him, because I could never figure out why I couldn't trust him, you know, because I just have a hard time trusting people in general. But I think that I couldn't trust him because although he has so many accolades, like, you know, he's very educated, he's very like he had his own business, like he was a great guy. Yeah, absolutely. But I think his emotions were just too everywhere. Like he gets very angry, very like aggressive very easily. And I think that is what didn't make me trust him. Like I couldn't trust that he wasn't going to hurt me the way that I've been hurt in the past because of the aggression I've seen.
Like you can't control your own emotions.
Yeah. And so if you can't control your own emotions, then how am I supposed to trust that you're going to be able to logically take me through life?
Yes.
Even though he's done so many great things for himself, you know what I mean? Like, especially from where he's come from. I'm very prideful in that for him. Like, I love that for him, but I couldn't trust you because you couldn't control yourself with me. Like, your emotions were getting too much for me. I already have a lot of emotions. So, and I get it, like, we should be able to hold space for each other when we're both feeling high emotions, but you cannot raise your voice or get out of hand with me and allow me to trust you in that way.
Right.
If you're not doing that for yourself, you know? So yeah, I guess that was one of the things that kind of made me not want to trust him. He always saw it as like a financial thing because he came across like, you know, some stumbles throughout our relationship, which I never judged him for. And it's not like I was trying to emasculate him by helping him financially and like helping him, you know, I'm a type of person who like I find interest, like he had like a business where he was like renting cars and he had multiple cars. And he was like, he said before he started dating me, he's like, I prayed to God that the next woman that I date, if she's not willing to get down and like clean cars with me and like help me operate this business, then I don't want her. And then he met me, and I'm the type of girl who like, I love cars. I love doing stuff with cars in general, but I'm also a girl who like, I will get my hands dirty. I'll do the work with you. And he's like, you were literally everything I asked for. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I see that as a partnership. You know what I mean? I don't see that as like, that's just your thing, so I'm gonna let you do it. Like, I like I like to incorporate myself in things.
Yes.
You know? And I like to see relationships more as like a partnership. You do your own thing, I do my own thing. We have things together, but we come together, you know? And I can't be with someone who wants to see me in the background behind them while they're the ones doing all the greatness. I need to be great myself. But I'm always going to be by your side, you know, but I need to be great too. And I feel like that's really hard for men to like sometimes accept. Because, I mean, I'm not trying to outshine you. This is not a competition. I feel like he probably could have handled me, but yeah, he just had to get those feelings in control. But turns out he's a piece of shit still too, so.
Oh, well.
Yep.
There goes that.
Worked out for the better.
That was the universe having your back.
Hell yeah. And I still stumbled a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. It's hard dating out here right now.
It is.
And also because things have changed a lot. Like, I feel like now men want to be catered to, which I'll do it, right? But yeah. I feel like it should be a 50-50.
That's like, the only 50-50 you talk about.
I cater to you and you cater to me. Like, I don't know, these men just want to be taken care of now.
They just want moms.
Yeah.
They want moms, and that's the problem.
And no, I'm not.
Something my best friend said to me that I will always remember and I will always love is, she's like, it's because they never know if they want to fuck you or if they want to be you. I was like, damn right, bitch. That's so fucking true. Because they don't. They're like, when they see women doing great things, they're like, damn, I kind of want to fuck you, but I also want to be like you. And it's like, well, you could have it all. You just act right. Am I right? Like, I'm not.
Oh, man.
I'm just like, that's just who I am naturally. Like, I think that's also why, like, I've dated a lot of, like, artists in the past. And I love that because, like, I'm pretty creative and I love being around people who are creative. It really inspires me.
I can see that.
But I've realized that I attract them because I want to be that. I want to be that creative in that way, like with their art. whether it's visual art, music, whatever. Like, I want to be that way too, you know? And that's why I always, like, draw towards them.
You attract that lifestyle.
Yeah. And then I forget that because I'm attracted to that, like, I guess in some capacity, like, I've always, I don't want to say like I managed my ex's career, but I definitely built a lot of connections and like relationships that set his career in a certain path, that could have really changed his whole life. But I enjoy doing stuff like that. Like, that's what I mean when I say, like, I'm the brains of it, you're just the face of it. I'm willing to be that person for someone, you know, but they don't like it. They just want someone in the background cheering them on.
Well, the men that we've come across. So.
Yes. Yes.
It's not all.
Not all.
Also, seeing other people's relationships kind of discourages me. Ooh. And makes me not want to be in a relationship. It just seems so stressful, honestly. And I love my life right now.
Yeah.
I love not having to
feel obligated.
Yeah. As selfish as that sounds, like, I just love not having to care about somebody else's feelings right now.
Yeah. I think I learned recently, especially that, yeah, I do love not being obligated to cater to someone else's feelings, but I have learned that it is definitely in me, and I'm definitely willing to do it. And I've finally been able to, like, clearly see, like, when I'm able to do it, and see that, yeah, just seeing that I am capable of it. It's just that it's not the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never that I'm not willing to. It's just I need to kind of see, like, you need to put in the work too for me to know that I can do that for you. So and then it always never gets reciprocated. Like, they don't ever want to understand you. They don't ever want to see it your way. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if you are looking for a relation with anyone, romantic, friendship, otherwise, like, you have to, it's a two-way street. Like, it's all about understanding. And I haven't always been that person in the past. And now that I am, it's kind of like my karma. Like, I'm meeting people that are not.
Damn, that's crazy. Because I think that's me too. That is my karma too.
I think I paid it back.
It's not you, it's these men.
I think no,
just with people in general though, like even with friendships where I wasn't always as understanding as I am now, or as patient as I should have been with friendships and, you know, in relationships.
Yeah.
And now, well, nah, I don't think it's karma, because I still have my people. Yeah. You know, that are understanding, that do support me, that do love me for who I am.
Yeah.
So really, I'm not missing out on anything.
Exactly. True. You're not.
Okay, scratch that.
Scratch it. It's just them. It's not us. You're right.
I'm not the problem here. That even sounded crazy.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I really wasn't. I still need to work on my patience though.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone. But I used to be worse. I definitely used to be worse. And I used to be more emotional than what I am now.
I think the only other topic that I really had left was just like, I mean, you don't have to share, but do you ever feel, are there any like real fears that you have about going into your 30s and like still living this, like living the way that we do?
I think the only fear I did have that I'm kind of like slowly letting go of is the whole, like, I've always wanted to have a family. And I think, and I've always said if I reach the age of 32 and I don't have my own kids or a husband or whatever, like, that's just it.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted a big family, so it would always be like a little discouraging, and that's like one of my biggest fears that I had. Used to have. Now it's not so much, it's not as bad. I think also because I've done so much for myself by myself
Yeah.
that I can kind of just picture myself not having a family. Like now I'm okay. If I have a family, if I don't have a family, it's whatever now. Like
Yeah.
I'll be fine either way. But that used to be a fear. Like, what if I don't have a family? Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the main things. Like, one of the biggest things that I've ever wanted was a big family. And I think because I come from a big family.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The more I venture out and do things on my own, the more I'm okay with being alone.
Yeah.
If it comes down to that.
Right.
But then I've also thought about fostering kids. You know, if I don't
Mm.
have my own. Or even if I do have my own eventually, I would still want to foster kids.
Yeah.
You know, so now I kind of, honestly, not gonna lie, I can picture myself being a single mom more than I can picture myself being in a relationship and starting a family with a man.
My God. People think I'm dramatic when I say that, but no, for real. Like I've thought about just literally be like going to like a sperm donor and like
Yeah.
just for real. Because I'm like, I don't think because even if like just thinking about being in relation with someone, like being in a partnership with someone and then having to raise my child with you.
Mhm.
Ooh, I'm so selfish. I do not want my child coming out like you, mother. Like that's what
I've
fear.
said that before too, where it's like I would prefer being a single mom because I can mold my kid however I want. I
Yeah.
don't have to discuss it with anyone else.
Exactly.
But also, I don't think I would want to be pregnant by myself. So I can picture myself fostering kids and being a single parent that way, possibly adopting a kid or whatever. But if I'm going to be single, I wouldn't want to be pregnant by myself. Like, I don't think I would go to a sperm donor. Like, I would love to have a supporting partner if I were to get pregnant, you know, someone that would be there to help me 24/7. But even then, a lot of men don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because they kind of just don't understand the struggle.
And also men have been able to like that video I posted earlier. They literally have lowered the standard for themselves and have set the standard to mediocre. So it's been acceptable in society for them to do the bare minimum or less.
Yeah.
And that's not to shit on men.
I don't want that. I've been around enough pregnant women to know that it's difficult to go through that. Like it's hard, it's exhausting, it's draining. It's like nobody would ever want to do that by themselves. Nobody should have to do it by themselves. So if I were to get pregnant, I would want to get pregnant by a partner, a loving partner that will be there and help me. Like I've seen videos of like pregnant women and their men carrying their bellies because it's so much pressure on them, and I'm like, wow, that's so nice. Like I want that. But I've only seen that type of relationship online, on social media, not in person.
And like from my personal experience of like even just the couple of months of being pregnant, like it's very draining on your body. Like I could not get up. Like even without the sickness, like I just could not get up. Like I was always so exhausted and so tired. But also I'm depressed at the same time. So it wasn't like a good mental space for me. But yeah, I mean I don't know if I'd be afraid of it now, like to go through a pregnancy alone and like do that. I might still be down for it if it really comes to that.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously I have fears of that not happening for me with a partner, but I think I'll get over my fears of that. You know, it's not a priority, of course, in my life, but that is something I do want, is to be like, I want to have a partner and I want to have a kid, one. And I don't need a big house. I don't need anything fancy. Like, I want to be so financially set to where, like, we could travel the world with our kid.
Yeah.
And, like, live this free life. Like, that's the life I envision for myself, is to have a partner and have a child that we can literally travel the world with and show them all of these experiences. Because I don't I don't know, that's just the dream for me. Like, I don't need anything fancy. Like, I don't need a beautiful house with a beautiful, like, with a nice ass car. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I will drive a raggedy car if that means I have to that I get to travel the world more.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's me
So
personally.
yeah, that was one of my biggest fears
Yeah.
going into my 30s, but I don't know. I don't think it's a fear anymore.
Yeah.
Like I feel like now my only fear would be not being financially stable.
Mm.
You know, like not finding my calling, not finding something that kind of gives me that sense of fulfillment.
Yes.
That's right now my biggest fear going into my 30s.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess like with all these opportunities arising, the fear is kind of like
Settling.
yeah. I'm like, you know what? I have all these opportunities, like I know something's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to be stuck here. I'm not going to be working this corporate job my whole life. Like there is something out there for me. And I mean, your 30s, that's not even old. You know, like I don't know why I'm so scared of not finding my calling before my 30s. Like we're so young.
Yeah. I think people always put that stigma on especially women when we're in our 30s, like this is just what we're supposed to be. Like I have two other sisters who are completely single. Like one is in her 40s, one is in her 30s, and they're completely single. They live out of state. They like one of my sisters, that the one that's in her 40s, she's actually lived in Korea for years teaching kids how to speak English, speak, read, and write in English.
Nice.
And like she's traveled the world. My other sister, she's traveled the world. Like after her dad passed away, like she went on a whole backpacking trip across like Asia. And like they've experienced things. And sometimes like I'm like, damn, I'm afraid that I'm like my sisters choose to live that lifestyle, like they choose to live alone, they choose to not settle down and have a family because they've seen everything that our siblings have gone through with like settling down and like the turmoil that they face with having families. Not that having families is a bad thing, it's just that they know that's not for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more like in the middle, like I want it, but I want this lifestyle still.
Yes.
Like I don't want that to stop me from living the life that I want to live, which is to see the world. I want my kids to be there with me, to see that world with me. So that's always my fear, is not being financially stable enough to do that. But we have to look at the world as like endless opportunities, even if opportunities don't completely present themselves in such a clear way, because our imagination is what's stopping us. You know what I mean? Like we can only imagine as far as we believe. So believing that you're always going to have opportunities is truly like, I feel like what's going to keep me going.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be something new, something is always going to happen. Even if we're 30, even if we're 40, something's going to happen. So, and there's so many opportunities to still continue to take. So it's just about taking the risk. And I could see myself in a few years, like being more financially stable, being able to leave my corporate job and being able to have my own business and my own passive income and be able to do whatever it is I want happily, and maybe even with a partner, and maybe eventually with a child. Those things will come when they come, but
that's true.
Main focus is me.
Yep. Same here. I also like I said, I've always wanted a big family. I've always wanted to have kids or whatever. But you know how I work with like the foster kids?
Yeah.
I literally, as I'm getting older, as I'm getting more experience with this agency, like I can literally see myself more fostering kids, not even having my own kids. Like I will be totally okay if I didn't birth any children, because I don't know, I just feel like there's so many kids in this world that need love, and I feel like it would just be selfish of me to have my own to love. Yeah. Knowing that there are kids out here that need it.
Yeah. And I love that, because like that is very true. And I think I am selfish in my decision of wanting my own kids, because I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. Yeah. But I definitely, like, one of the reasons is because I want to be able to mold them into very much a well-rounded and wholesome person.
Yeah.
But also, I grew up in a family of 9 kids, and I was the only child in my parents' relationship, you know. So I felt very isolated and alone. And obviously, my child's gonna have half of their stupid ass dad's, genetics.
And this is why she's single.
She's already fucked my baby daddy.
Fuck my baby daddy already, and I don't even got one.
She's just kidding. She loves you.
Yeah, future baby daddy, I guess I do love you.
Oh my god.
But I'm just kidding. But I know, like, my child's gonna have half of his DNA, obviously, and half of whatever he puts into the child.
Yeah.
But at least I know that I put all of me into my child, you know? And I feel like that's just something that fulfills me. Something that I don't know if is even a healthy reason to have a child, but it's one of the main components as to why I shoot for having my biological children.
Yeah.
But I absolutely would not be opposed to fostering or adopting, but I've also kind of fostered myself for a while, you know?
Yeah. You're
Technically.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the less
you let go more of the idea of having
Of
biological children.
of wanting the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older I get, the more I can see myself just not having children. Like, the less I want to have children,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I don't know if I worded that correctly. But there's just so many reasons now for me to not want to have my own children. Like, first of all, giving birth, have you seen that?
I have.
Have you heard that? Like, have you been in a room with that? Like, that
Yes.
just sounds like death.
My 9th birthday,
No.
my nephew was being born.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was in the room when my niece was born, and I had just turned 10 the
Yeah.
day before. And I didn't even see it, though. I was in the room, but I was behind a curtain.
Oh, okay.
And the nurse did ask my sister, like, is it okay if your little sister's here? Do you want us to take her out of the room? And my sister's like, she was so in pain.
Get this
Like,
fucking baby out of the
house.
house. Get
Yeah.
out of the house.
She's like, I don't care. But my mom put me behind the curtain because my mom wanted to be there still. So I'm like standing behind the curtain. My mom is in between the curtain. And then she's like looking over here, and my sister's like crying and screaming bloody murder. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening, you know? And then my mom's over here like with this smile on her face because she's like so excited that my sister's having a baby.
Yeah.
And it was just so confusing because like my mom's so happy, but then I hear my sister and I hear her pain and I can tell that she's scared.
Yeah.
And she's like calling out for my mom, and my mom's over here like smiling like, yeah, it's okay. And then she would look at me, and then she'd look back at my sister, she'd be like, I see the head. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it was just, that alone when I was 10 years old was already traumatizing.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't want to blame my sister for me not wanting kids, but she did scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
With that one, and then her last one fractured her pelvic bone.
Ooh.
So she was on a walker for like a whole month or two.
Damn.
And I don't want to go through that, honestly. And then
Yeah.
also, after you give birth, you like bleed for weeks straight.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it happens to everyone, but there's also like the postpartum depression and like if you don't have the right support
Yeah.
system, and it's just a lot. Like, I just feel like it's too much, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm okay. And again, because of this whole foster
Yeah.
gig that I have, like
Yeah.
me working more with them, I'm kind of like, dang, like I feel like these kids need me, you know?
Right.
Like, I really don't. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'd be open to it if I meet a man tomorrow and fall in love and
Let's make a baby.
Like,
Let's make a baby.
I'm down. Don't get me wrong. I'll have all your babies for whoever's listening. But
I'm down.
I'm down with it. But if I don't meet the love of my life or whatever, you know, if I don't meet a man that I can settle down with, like, I would love to foster. Like, I literally can see myself fostering kids and just going out and doing things, you know, like taking them skating or
Yeah.
anything really, like just having fun with
Yeah.
kids and just showing them that they are deserving
Worthy
of
of
love.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing my own kid and
Starting from scratch.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would love to, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Like, just that desire is kind of like fading
Dwindling away.
Yeah. The
Understandable.
older I get, and it's like,
Yeah.
do I really want a family, or do I want to help kids in need?
Yeah.
You know, like, what do I want to do?
Yeah. I'm absolutely able to accept the fact that if I don't, I'm cool with it. I will definitely find other ways to like give my love to the world.
Yeah, and I'm sure Leo wouldn't want me to have a baby. So,
And you know, I feel like also I was always discouraged so much by my family to not have kids, especially my mom, because my siblings have kids like literally every single year ever since I was 9. Like my no joke, like my siblings have had kids every single year from when I was 9 until I was like 21. So I have like 30 nephews and nieces.
good Lord.
Yeah. My oldest nephew is 2 months younger than me. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's crazy. So I could see why like my mom wouldn't want me to have my own kids, but at the same time, like there's also certain things in like my culture and like my family's religion that I do believe in, and it does also involve having a child. Like it's more of like the afterlife stuff. So that's the reason that I would want that's also a reason that I do want children as well. Like it's a factor in my decision to have children of my own. But yeah, it absolutely stems from like there's just there's so much bad shit in this world, and I hope that if I have my own child, I can give them the wholesome and like the well-roundedness that I feel like I have, and I could give that to them, and they could give that to the world. Because even having one better person in the world is better than having all bad, you know? So just a personal thought. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would, in order for me to make that decision with someone, you would definitely need to show like a lot of characteristics of how caring you are. Like if you can't even do small things to take care of me,
yes,
I definitely know you are not going to be taking care of my child, you know?
Yes.
And I need that, especially when you're going through the postpartum thing and like the pregnancy itself. It's a lot of work. Like,
you know, it's crazy. When I was with my ex, I did question having kids with him. Yeah. And I told him, like, there was this one time he got mad. Like, we made plans to do something with my family, and he got upset for whatever reason, and then anytime he would get upset, he would just cancel his plans.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that, because I'm like, well, what if we have kids eventually and we have to go to their soccer game and you get mad? Are you just not going to go to their soccer game?
Right.
Like,
are you going to blow it up? Like you're going to overreact to everything?
So that is a good point. And I was going to settle for that.
Yeah.
True. Thank God I didn't.
Yeah.
But see, that's another reason that I'm so, I guess, picky. I don't want to say picky, though.
I think you just set your boundaries and you're very clear about them.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, you know, the whole walking away and driving away when I'm not even in my home. Like that's a boundary you have, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like some people do think that it's something small, but those small things add up. Exactly. Those small things add up, and eventually if I do look for a partner or whatever, I would want to have kids with you eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can't do the simple things for me, how are you going to take care of a whole child?
Yeah. Because I refuse to have an absent father to my children. Like, because like the small stuff, like making sure you come and open the door for me, or making sure, like, even if we live together and you know I'm coming home, you better be waiting at that door. Yeah. That's how I used to be with my daddy. Like, I used to wait for my daddy at the door, and I'd be like, hey, daddy, you're home. Like, because I know he's going to be home at a certain time. And this is back when we had house phones. We didn't know when the fuck people were coming home. I just knew that this was the time my dad was going to get home, so I'd be waiting for him at the door. Because he'd do the same for me. You know, and I'm not going to settle for somebody that doesn't do that for me. But I have that tendency to waste my time with people, even though I know that they do that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play you the same way that you like. I'm gonna play you the way that you act. You know, I'm gonna treat you the way that you act. Which
See,
is,
and that's where I'm the opposite of you, and I'm like,
you just walk away.
yep, and like, goodbye, you're done, delete.
But I think I had to kind of do that so I can get it out my system, and now I know, like, the next time I date, I'm like, yeah, you don't do that for me, I'm out. I'm not even gonna play with you anymore.
That's funny. I think a lot of women do say that too, where they're like, I don't play and I don't tolerate nothing. And then the men do it and they're still there tolerating it.
Yeah.
So when I tell these men, like, well, I'm not here to fuck around, basically.
Yeah.
Like, this is the real deal. Like, this is what I want, blah, blah, blah. And if not, then I'm going to just cut you off.
Yeah.
And I do tell people that. I do. And they don't believe me.
Yeah.
Because of that same reason where it's like they've heard it before and they're used to women circling back. And I'm like, no, that's not me. Like, I deleted that one guy and he ended up texting me a couple months later and he was like, I know you probably have me blocked. Like, dude, you're not that important. Like, you can just get deleted and I don't have to talk to you. And that's that. Like, I wasn't kidding.
And I know it's bad of me to do that, but also, like, I guess in that situation specifically, like, I was going into this not taking it serious in the first place, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, you know, I kind of just need something to kind of, I guess, essentially fill a void right now, and, like, I don't need to be serious right now. Like, I'm not in a place to be serious. So it's not like I was walking into this being serious in the first place. So I was just like, oh, you're going to do that? Well, I'm going to treat you just like that then. Like, you want to play the time. You want to play the game? I can play too. But that's why I'm always, I just kept saying, like, you know, you're not serious. I'm not serious. You're not ready for what I want. I'm not ready either. But, you know, like, I have to see you show me those things if that's really what you want. Like, I'm sorry, but you got to work for it if that's what you want. That's kind of, you know, just because there's history with someone and, like, we're used to, like, the game. Okay, we're used to the game. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, if you really are saying, like, you're serious, like, then you got to put in the work for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be serious, but I got to see you prove it. Because otherwise I'm going to treat you the way that you act. I mean, maybe that's just because, like, I've been around enough men to know that. And it's not to say that my feelings didn't get hurt in the situation, because it did. Because I did have real feelings. But at the same time, like, I'm glad that I didn't fully act on those feelings. So it's always a game. And I'm just tired of the game. So from now on, like, I'm over it. Like, I promise, men, like, I'm not playing games no more. If you do one thing that I don't fuck with, I'm out.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm good at games, but not those. I don't want to play those games.
I think I'm pretty good.
Come meet me at Romance. Let's play pool. I'm good at that game. And my thing is, like, I don't know. I just don't like wasting my time either.
Yeah.
So if you are just hitting me up for one thing, just say it, bro. Like, just get it over with. Tell me what you want, and I'll let you know if you should pursue or not.
For sure.
And again, I don't want to waste my time. If we could just be friends, let's just be friends. Like, stop making things awkward.
Here's the best part is, like, I'm a very open person. Like, you can tell me. You can tell me. You can tell me that all you want is to just have a casual thing. I'm gonna be like, I'll consider it. Let me think about it real quick. But, you know, like, it's just more of, like, be honest about that shit. Like, I don't want to hear. I could do without all the lovey-dovey shit. If you're not really on that with me and you're not about to be consistent with that, get out my face.
I'm a sucker for all that lovey-dovey shit.
No.
Which is crazy. Like, I don't think you would even think that of me.
I think that's crazy, though. Because, like, I don't even fall for it. I just be like, yeah, you joking. You playing yourself right now.
You're playing.
Because I don't believe you.
I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, if it's excessive, you know, and they're love bombing from the start, then it's like, okay, that's a little
Yeah.
concerning. But I'm gonna still enjoy the attention because I love attention.
Ooh, I love it too. Not gonna lie, I love the attention.
Yeah.
It's a Leo thing. We love attention. Like I can't deny that I like it. And I entertain it sometimes, but you might get a text or response back like here and there. But if I ghost you, just understand I'm good.
I entertain it with certain people.
Yeah. But I'm
just because I know you're not serious.
Yeah.
And you know that I'm not about that life either.
But I'm so off that now. Like I'm just so over it. I needed to get that out my system this last year. Like I got it out my system and I think I'm so good. Like I don't want to play the game no more. Like
yeah, and see that's why I don't like dating either, because a lot of people do see it like that.
Yeah.
Like it's a game. Like let's see how far I can get with this girl, and I don't like that. Like I need you to be sure, and I need you to be all in from the start.
Right.
Because that's how I am.
Ooh, all in from the start's crazy, Jesus.
Crazy. It is crazy, but I mean that's why we're getting to know each other, to see if we're compatible. So if we're getting to know each other, it needs to be just you getting to know me, and then if you don't like me, then that's fine. Go venture out and do your own thing.
You're right, though.
But I mean that's how I see it, because that's how I am when I date.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like I literally cannot entertain more than one person. Like
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I almost feel bad. Like like I'm doing something wrong.
No, same, definitely. I think for me though is like even when I was committed in my relationship, I was still treading so lightly with him, and he was just like all in immediately, because he's just like, whatever you want, like I just want to make you happy. I want to give you everything that you want. Like whatever it is that you want to do, like we can do that. He said I love you like a couple months in, and I didn't even say it back to him. I literally did not say it back to him. It took me like 6 months to say it to him. But that's probably from my trauma. And I'm learning, I learned from this recent situation that I do need to be more serious about what they, like, about how they, when they say that they're all in and they're acting on it, like, I need to take that more seriously and actually do the same.
Yeah.
And I think that was the issue, is that I wasn't doing that when they were showing it, and then it becomes a whole back and forth game again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take responsibility. I probably hurt some feelings there. But I mean,
it's okay. She's learning.
I'm learning. I'm getting better. So yeah, I'm serious now, guys. I'm serious now.
She's not gonna match energy anymore.
I'm not gonna fuck around no more.
She found out already.
I found out. Do you ever feel like you lost the love of your life, or the one? Do you have the one that got away?
Do not. Do not. Do not.
Oh.
I will say his name right now. No, I'm just kidding.
His location is crazy.
I do have one that I feel got away. I still refer to him as the love of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy, because we weren't even in a relationship.
A connection is a connection. Okay? Don't downplay it.
Oh my god. And I was young though. I was like maybe 17.
Yeah.
That was like my first. I mean, I've had small crushes before, but that was like my first, like, wow, I really like this guy.
Yeah.
Like I actually like him. I actually can see myself in a relationship with him. But then I moved to Madison. So yeah, I was 17. Then I moved to Madison, and we kind of just fell off because I didn't have a phone at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just didn't see each other after that. And then when I came back, I met...
He should have been knocking on your door, though.
True. When I came back from Madison, I met my ex. I was with him. And then this guy got a girlfriend. And then it just...
He got away.
He got away. The one that got away. But he seems happy now.
Yeah.
You know, he has his partner. They have a kid together.
Yeah. I love that, though. Like, I wish sometimes I'm like, am I missing out on something? Like, how come I don't have that feeling about anyone?
No, I think it's just me. I think I'm just delusional.
No, I I feel like there's a lot of people. Like I was watching.
I have never met someone that says they have.
I was watching.
Like it's a thing on like in movies and in TV shows, but like in real life, I don't think anyone has ever said like, I have one of those. Somebody that got away. Like, no, that's just me being delusional.
There's like, I was watching some stuff that like people were talking about like how they felt like the love of their life. Like this girl, she said she let the love of her life slip away from her, and it was more because like he actually passed away before she made it back. Like she went out of the country for a while, and then he passed away literally like the day before she got back. Yeah.
How was it like? Was he sick or just?
I think it was like a sudden incident. Like I think he was like in a motorcycle accident or something.
That's tough.
But that just shows like you can't hide your feelings. Just be honest. When you feel some type of way about somebody, just say it. Because like I mean, the worst that can happen is they're gonna say I don't feel the same way.
Right.
You know.
And then you're gonna be heartbroken for a little bit, but it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. But you knew you tried.
Yes.
And I feel like for me,
no regrets.
No regrets, yeah. And I wish I could say I felt that way about someone, but I don't. I really don't. I feel like I usually exhaust myself enough to know that I tried enough and I gave. Obviously, like I'm not the most emotional or affectionate person, but I definitely show my love in different ways. Yeah. And I don't feel like I've regretted losing anyone in my past.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I think I just refer to him as the love of my life because, again, he was like the first guy that I ever actually had feelings for.
Oh, I wish.
Like every other guy that I had a crush on, it was just like that, like just like a little crush, like a little kid crush, you know?
Yeah.
But with him, we actually went out. He invited me to his church. Like it was. I liked this man a lot. And because he was the first man that I had these feelings for, that's why I'm like, that's the love of my life. That's the one that got away.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not, like, depressed about it. You know? Like,
she's happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as he's happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But, you know, if he's not happy, if you're not happy, hit me up.
Right here.
And I think in all honesty, as painful as those relationships were for me, or like all of that, like I will always wish nothing but the best for every single person that I've come across. Like even the one who's hurt me like the worst. Like I really hope that he is somewhere
you're
finding peace.
Because you are.
I could hate him, right? But
I don't wish bad on anyone.
Just not good.
But I just leave you in my past.
Yeah.
Like I don't, like, as bad as it sounds, I don't wish you well, I don't wish you bad, but I just don't care.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely don't care, but I just hope that
you're just gonna get what you deserve.
Yeah.
Good or bad. That has nothing to do with me. I don't care to wish you well. And I don't care to wish you bad either, because I don't want that karma either.
Yeah.
But I really just don't care. Like, once you're out of my life, you're out of my life. And I don't care what happens.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I just feel better just putting all of that good energy out there, no matter what. Even
well, yeah, because it'll come back to you.
Yeah, and even if I don't, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean I care. I just want you to have the best life that you have, because I have the best life that I could have right now, and I just know it's gonna get better for me. And I also understand in your perspective and your point of view, you had demons that you were fighting, you know, and that's why situations went the way that it did. But it's definitely not my problem to fix those for you. So I think that's a good note to end on. I really appreciate you guys joining the pod for a little bit.
Thanks for having us. We'll be back.
It took a lot of courage, so I really appreciate it. We definitely got pretty vulnerable and serious.
Yeah,
we joked a lot.
I think this was like all over the place too.
It always is though. But at least I had some topics to like actually bring up this time, so it's good.
True.
But yeah, I really appreciate it. Probably be back for more. So don't forget, it's me, Sab.
And Jesucita. And anonymous.
And anonymous.
Anonymous executive producer.
It's another episode of Suffering of Silence. You'll find me on TikTok and Instagram at Suffering of Silence Pod, and we're on all streaming platforms. Video episodes are up on YouTube. And don't forget to like, comment, and
Subscribe.